Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Fabiana Cañipa. It's my first time here, but Vincent convinced me to present. So I'm here in name of Liveware, the company we work at, and I'm here to show you a bit how we use extreme programming to create stronger relationships with our customers, specifically through testing. So let me put you a bit in context for the ones who don't know Liveware. Liveware is a Swiss company that was founded by scientists and mathematicians from the ETH in 1998. Actually, our founders are still on the top management, so their core values are still impacting our everyday work. Now, however, we have more than 80 employees, and we are spread across 6 different countries, including Switzerland, Luxembourg, Italy, Germany, India, and Spain. Yeah, we have an office in Barcelona. And we have more than 20 years experience that our clients and the regulators in our industry really take into account. So what is our industry? Our industry is life insurance. So life insurance, if you Google it, you will have this happy family jumping around, everyone is happy. However, the job is not exactly like that. Life insurance products are complicated. We have a lot of financial transactions. You have calculations. You have claims. You have funds. You have the clients all over it. And they really cannot handle it by themselves. So that's why we come in and we're like, hey, guys, we program you small talk. We are here to help you make your life easier, better. And that's why we come in. We have more than 16 customers. And we need to handle products in more than 8 different languages, spread in 20 different countries. We have more than 1 million policies, more than 300 products, and more than 160,000 users. Oh, those numbers are hard for me. We actually handle and are managing more assets that are worth more than 45 billion euros, so a lot of responsibility on our shoulders. And as you can imagine, things can get messy. So we need strategies to be extremely efficient and be able to react on time and to handle different and complicated situations. That's why Liveware took the extreme programming approach. Instead of doing the classic one where you analyze for a year, then you develop for another 2 years, you design it for 2 years, you implement it in another year, and then you test in the end and everything is broken, we like to do a small sprints where we just analyze, then test first, then we implement it, and then we start designing changes along with our customers. We actually work under the 4 commandments of extreme programming. We are extreme in simplicity, in communication, in feedback, and in aggressiveness in moving forward. But what we are more extreme on is really on testing. We test it all every time, and we make sure our testing is extremely automated, because we know life is too short for manual testing. So we have more than 120,000 tests that are checking everything constantly. We run them more than 60 times per day. And we can do this because we have a very big number of processes that let us do it in less than 6 minutes. However, there's a very small problem. Customers are not that agile. And they are really used to a very classic approach. They like analysis, and they like to design solutions in words that are 200 pages long, and they want to test as little as possible to have a perfect finished product. And things don't work like that. So we needed to build a bridge between us and them. So we are thinking all the time on how to improve this bridge. So right now, I want to show you very simple tools we have, but that actually change the game. I'm going to start showing you what we call our planning tool, our test environments, our shared test checkpoints, and the constant feedback we have with the clients. So I'm going to show you a bit of small talk on our everyday work and the small tools we developed. For this, I want to show you a small demo. And first, I want to show you a simple dummy test case of how it goes. I don't know if you can you see everything there? Is it fine? Okay. Everything starts on what we call the planning tool. The planning tool is basically a place where they can put on tickets, and they can organize them by, I don't know, topics. They can assign responsibles either in Liveware or other companies. And they just can write any crazy idea they have, and we will figure out. Let's see a request. So here our client tells us, please implement the partial surrender tool. It's a one-line requirement that seems so simple. However, a partial surrender implies a lot of different money transactions and revisions and many things that need to be put together in one single workflow. So to these workflows, we call them tools in Liveware. So we want to implement their partial surrender tool. They're going to have to test many different scenarios. They're going to have to test many different documents. So we needed something. So we created the public test cases, public in the sense that we shared the test cases with them. So they can give us the OK in the same place. And I'm going to show you just, for example, I needed to create an Excel document for them. And now I want them to test it, and they will probably have feedback back to me, so I will put it there. So basically, it's just the Excel assert, and we just created a simple tool for us to convert it into a public test case. So I just do like that. And then I assign the task ID, which was task number 1, and I don't know, your data sheet. And I can also put a name to the test. Test this awesome data sheet. And ba-ba. And they have their awesome data sheet. They will log in. They will say, oh, great, Fabiana did it today. They will look at it, and they will say, like, oh, no, this is, but hey, I hate it. So they were like, hey, Fabiana, I hate it. Change it. And then I will go log in, see, and I will just keep updating it, and they will have it on the same place. So the nice thing for me is that I can have the feedback next to it. I don't need to upload it 20 times. And it actually changes the way we work. And we can do that for everything. We can do that for PDFs too. So it's a very simple refactoring. And we have it there. So the same with the PDF. So yes, it is perfect. But another cool thing we can do is that we can actually share different checkpoints on the test with them. So we also call them public checkpoints in the sense that we share the test with them. And this is very cool because then we can create the scenarios or things for them to test until they actually see our expected result. And they will see like, oh, no, this is good, this is not. And especially this is good for web services because sometimes you need to test different cases, different scenarios, and just it avoids a lot of going back and forward. So the same, and we just put it this, test here. They just need to run the scenarios, and this will lead them to their checkpoint. However, this is a dummy test. This is actually a test of the test, so it has no information. So I will show you actually how this looks in our test environments. Our test environments are just a copy of our productions, so they can scramble names, change assets, whatever they want, and our production is untouched, but they can see our real-world behavior. However, this is anonymized data, so we don't get in trouble. And OK, this is a real ticket. You can see how complicated it gets. It gets long requirements. And a lot of documents that they start uploading. So to solve this, we have 111 test cases for them to test and check. But I'm not going to show you the 111 because you will fall asleep. But I'll show you this. So this is what I was talking about. They just need to run the scenarios. And then here, it will take a little bit. And someone start the weekly meeting. And the cool part, as I told you, is, for example, here. He say, like, Carl asked for something and very specific things, and then Walter can reply. And then they can see our expected result. So they can browse through it. They can say, like, yeah, this looks fine. Let's see this tab. Yeah, kind of nice. This, it's all good. So one other cool thing is that after they told us, like, no, please change something on the test case, we can directly go here, and it opens my testing file. So this for me is very, very useful, because that way I don't need to go and look for it, and I can just directly open my local test to do all the changes they ask me to, and go back to them. And I'm going to be sure that whatever change I do in the local machine, it will also be reflected in the test environment, so they will see all the changes. So as you see, very simple tools, but actually they change the way we work, and they change the whole workflow. Any questions? Okay. So some final thoughts is that, well, at Lifer we are both implementing and developing for the specific solutions they ask, but we also need to put a lot of thought in how to make our own lives easier and better. So our work keep on being fun, and we can go to what we want to, which is not writing 10,000 emails a day, it's actually developing. And yeah, it sometimes just takes a little time to check and think, and eXtreme programming is extremely useful for this, especially because it's based on testing, and that way you don't spend 10 days developing something for it to be completely rejected. You can do something small on the first day, and then you can start actually interacting with the client and making them part of the development to have something that is useful for them, which is our goal. So thank you. You have any questions right now or afterwards, please get in touch. Yes?
You talked about 1,200 processes executing the test cases. So that, how does it work? Yeah, if it is released, then these machines pull the code and execute the test cases you have. And also you said about the customer could define test cases, and they can run it on their browser interface. So how do these two kinds of test cases work? When they, how do they get executed?
Okay, the second question first. That is that where are these tests run? Where do these tests run for the customers? Well, they actually run in the test environment machines, because each test environment has its own server. So that's where they run. And the first question, which is a very technical question, is like how really the 1,200 processors handle our tests, right? That, I don't have the answer, but I'm sure Vincent can help me.
So how do you have these many test cases be executed from 1,200 processors? How does this work? So say you have lots of machines, they're pulling all the code and execute it continuously, all the new test cases and code, or how does it work?
So the question is, how these tests are being processed by our processors? Are they executed at the same time, you mean? Yeah.
So basically the flow is that each time you have a change to do, we push the change in our one branch of the code repository, and then it will be taken by a machine that will just integrate the change in one image, in one Smalltalk image, and execute all the processors. So basically, you have one master that say run all the tests and then delegate too many slaves to run it. So it's now on the cloud on Amazon Web Services, and we run 1,200 cores. So we dispatch everything like that. This is what Pablo did also. You need the infrastructure. it's our own infrastructure we did before. Maybe we can repeat it.
Okay. So what he explained is that what we mainly do is that we have a master, and then we ask for them to run the tests, and it distributes in all the slaves, which are all the processors. And we use, Amazon Web Services for handling all of this. Yeah, good summary.